Hey, what's up, Good Life? Thanks for joining me for today's 128 moment. You know, it's the weekend and a lot of people are heading out to the beach as they've been opened up. I hear the crowds have been big. Hopefully, everybody is social distancing. I have to confess, I'm not much of a beach guy, but I do love the water. There's something about standing on the shore and looking out across the ocean as far as the eye can see. There's something about it that's just humbling. And there's something about standing next to the ocean that I think provides some important reminders if we'll just slow down long enough to see them. One of my favorite books is the book of Job. The book of Job tells the story of a man who lost everything, that in one day his children were killed, all of his possessions were destroyed or stolen, and then soon after that he gets sick with his body covered with sores and nothing will comfort him. Even his wife comes to him and says that he should curse God and die. He does have some friends that come and sit with him for a while, just being there to comfort him with their silence. But probably when they start talking, he wished they stayed silent because they just start debating back and forth about what evil Job must have done to have brought all this pain into his own life. The rest of the book is a lot of debate back and forth between the friends, with Job trying to respond to them, and Job also putting some deep, hurting questions to God in the process. And you reach Job chapter 38, and God starts to respond to Job. And he responds to him in a firm way, but I believe it's a loving way. And he starts by saying this to him. He says to Job, "Who is this that darkens counsel by words without knowledge? Job, dress for action like a man, and I will question you, and you can make it known to me. Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding." God tells Job, have a seat. Let's have a talk. I've got some questions for you, and I want you to answer them. And he goes on for the next several verses asking some questions to Job that I think give Job a proper perspective to look at his own struggles. Some important reminders that I believe God is asking to ultimately bring Job some comfort while also offering some correction. He goes on to ask Job some staggering questions like this. He says, "Where is the way to the dwelling of light, and where is the place of darkness? That you may take it to its territory, that you may discern the path to its home. You know, for you were born then, and the number of your days is great." He says to Job, "Where does the light come from? You know you were there. You're old enough to know where it started." Okay, he goes on to say this. "Have you entered the storehouses of snow? Have you seen the storehouses of hail? What is the way to the place where the light is distributed, or where the east wind is scattered upon the earth?" God looks at Job and he says, "Do you know where the hail is stored? Do you know where the snow is stored? Do you know where the light comes from and where the wind comes from?" He's asking some pretty pointed questions here. He goes on to say this, "Can you lift up your voice to the clouds, that a flood of waters may cover you? Can you send forth lightning, that they may go and say, 'Here we are'?" He says to Job, "Can you make the rain come? Do the clouds answer to you? Does the lightning appear when you tell it to flash?" These seem like some harsh questions to a guy who's walking through a tough time, but I believe God wants to accomplish two things. I think he wants to confront Job and remind him that he's not God. But I think he wants to comfort Job by reminding him that the Lord is God. A reminder that all of us could use right now. In the midst of all these questions, God asked a question of Job that really brings me some comfort, and I want to share it with you. In verse 8, God says this, "Who shut in the sea, saying, 'Thus far you shall come, and no farther, and here shall your proud waves be stayed'?" God looks at Job and says, Who told the sea to come forth? Who told it where to stop? With every breaking wave, God says, "I'm the one who told it this far and no farther." So as you stand on the shore and you look out on the water as far as the eye can see, as you consider the ocean and all of its power, with every breaking wave, God provides an important reminder that he is in control. That the mighty waves that crash upon the shore, God tells them this far and no farther. He is the one that the oceans answer to. And if he can hold back the sea, then he can certainly hold us safely in the palm of his hand. He still does that not only to the waves, he does it to every storm in your life and mine. He tells those storms this far and no farther. that you can come in, but only this far. The storms in our lives still answer to him. The waves in the sea still answer to him. And we can take comfort in these uncertain times that our God is in control. And I hope that does bring you comfort today, Good Life. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you're staying connected. And I hope you'll be able to join us tomorrow morning as our services go live. 9 o'clock for our kids service and 9:30 for our worship service. We'll be live on YouTube for both of those times. We'd love for you to not only join us there so you can chat with our church family as everybody settles in, but you can also invite someone to join us. We look forward to the time when we can gather together in person, but until then, we're so thankful for the chances that we have to gather online. So I love you guys. I miss you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for worship.